one day she's like, honey, I love you. And I'm like, what? And I said, well, I'm old enough to be your dad.
So a couple months ago, I made a video talking about a pretty unfortunate scamming situation where this poor guy lost all of his life savings after being catfished by someone pretending to be Pokimane online. The scammer was using AI voices, AI deepfakes, and I predicted that as AI gets better and more advanced, things are only going to be getting worse with these scams. And my god, is my prediction only getting more true as the days go by, because today we're going to be taking a look at a news story about men who are getting scammed en masse by completely fake AI women. So without further ado, I'm pretty curious on what these women look like, how advanced this scam is, so let's take a look.
Cheryl Robb, area victims are coming forward after being scammed by people who they thought were real women. The images and videos altered or faked by AI. The people behind the schemes are stealing cash and hearts.
Hey, hey, honey, you are the best.
That woman may look real to some, but
Yeah, I don't know about that. Real in my dreams, maybe, because that right there looks like the stuff of nightmares. Like, holy shit, if you're gonna get scammed by AI deepfakes, it's gotta be at least someone hot, and not some scary looking cyborg that looks straight out of a creepypasta. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on the AI lady's looks over here. Would you go out with her? Or fork over your life savings? Leave a comment. With that said, despite the looks, the video and voice does seem pretty real, which is kind of scary. And like I said, these AI filters, deepfakes, AI generated people are only going to be getting better.
that woman may look real to some, but two security experts tell the I-Team that video is heavily filtered with unnatural eyes and the chin blending into the neck. Jim, who asked us not to use his last name, has recently been talking to this woman who convinced him to make an investment.
And then that's one day she's like, honey, I love you. And I'm like, what? And I said, well, I'm old enough to be your dad. And she said, well, that doesn't matter. We have a lot in common.
She also sent these photos in what appears to be a sketch of herself and Jim together.
Oh man, it's just such a dead giveaway. This drawing right here is so AI coded. Like, this is something ChatGPT would totally spit out if you asked it to make a sketch or something. But unfortunately, there are a lot of naive people, a lot of older people as well, that maybe aren't super caught up with the times. You know, maybe they don't know much about online scammers and AI. And that seems to be the case here with Jim, sadly. But at the same time, I gotta say, some woman young enough to be your daughter online who tells you she's in love with you, even though you've never even met, has gotta be the reddest of flags. These men might not be caught up with the times, they might be a little naive, but you gotta use your brain a little.
Of herself and Jim together. Jim initially met her after getting a mysterious text message. He thought they had a friend in common.
She goes, I've never met anybody to be my equal. She had an uncle who was on the board for the stock exchange in Hong Kong.
He was convinced to send $60,000 to that stock exchange. He says he lost most of it because the investment tanked. Then the woman opened up an overseas crypto account in his name, but when Jim tried to take that money out, he was going to be charged thousands of dollars in upfront tax fees. Experts say it's a scam.
Come on, man, $60,000 opening crypto accounts for some overseas woman half your age you've never met. The writing is on the wall. I understand some people might be lonely, but let this video be a lesson to always use your big brain, not the little one, no matter how desperate you might be. Like $60K to fucking Hong Kong stock exchange. You can't be this clueless. Some people are gonna say victim blaming, but fuck that. If you're getting scammed by this thing who's apparently in love with you despite never even meeting, there is absolutely some blame you gotta put on yourself. That's why I don't know how to feel with some of these scam victims. On one hand, I feel bad because getting scammed is obviously a very shitty situation, but at the same time, if something this stupidly obvious is fooling you, that is absolutely your fault as well.
I'll try somebody online. It couldn't hurt. I was wrong. It could.
This suburban man, also named Jim, was duped by fake photos. He asked us not to show his face.
I'm asked literally every day for money.
He was looking for love online and instead lost thousands of dollars sending gift cards to people using these fake and altered photos. He thought the women holding these love messages to him were interested in meeting.
She probably got about $2,000. And one day she got $300 for airfare, $250 for a babysitter.
Security and technology experts at Bitdefender and NordVPN studied all of the pictures and that video we showed you earlier. They say behind this filtered face could be anyone.
It's crazy to think that this was most likely some 40-year-old sweaty man in some overseas country with a voice changer who talks to these men all day, every day. How do you even feel after realizing you got scammed by that? I'm looking at some of these other pictures and they might not even be entirely AI and just simply edited. Although it still could be an AI generated selfie of a woman. These are getting really advanced now. But some of these are so clearly edited. Like, look at the paper on this one. Whoever edited this didn't even bother to make the color behind the text match the color of the paper. It's just a block of pure white on top of the real image. Not to mention this touching message. I'm real and I love you, Jim. You know what? That sounds pretty sincere. Let me send $10,000 immediately.
You miss micro emotions or movements in the face.
They confirm that the majority of these pictures and the video are fake or altered in some way.
You usually see that hair, either it has this halo effect or it blends into a different color.
Experts also spotted generated faces on bodies and different shaped hands, like these hands holding up those signs saying, "I love you, Jim."
Handwritten notes, which actually were not handwritten.
The words are likely computer generated. Experts say you should also look for uneven tooth shapes or earrings that look unusual.
Or just meet people in person. I mean, that would pretty much solve all of these issues. You're not going to have to look for uneven tooth shapes and hands. You could instead talk to the person in real life. You see someone, shoot your shot. Go to a bar, socialize, get out there. All of these issues and scams are caused by spending way too much time online. It's like the options are talk to someone in person you find attractive or send $60K to some girl overseas for Hong Kong Stock Exchange. The choice, I think, is pretty easy.
Or earrings that look unusual.
You get a random text, and if you're a single guy, and then you get a picture of a woman that looks fairly attractive, I mean, that's the hook.
So never send money and meet for coffee.
Exactly.
Just my desire to have somebody in my life made me really do something that was stupid.
AI scammers may also use endearing terms like babe and honey instead of your real name because they are using the same messages for multiple people. Unfortunately, these types of romance scams with or without AI have gotten worse. Recent numbers from the Federal Trade Commission show $1.3 billion were lost in 2022, Rob and Cheryl. But like that dating expert said, it's so easy to fall for this. You see those pictures, you're lonely, and they're convinced.
AI is getting better by the day, there's no doubt about that, but the moral of the video is pretty simple, and that's to always use your big brain. Don't be naive. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. And to meet people in person, that's always going to be the best. Also, possibly get your vision checked if this thing is scamming you for $60K. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more juicy videos coming soon to the channel. And let me know what your thoughts are on this whole situation. Do you know anyone that's ever been scammed and catfished online? I think we all just need to go outside and meet people in person and stay offline as much as possible. But let me know, leave a comment. Peace.